Yeah, of him. Hiranyakashipu. Daityapate. The king of the Daityas. Putra. Sons. Chatvaraha. Four. Parama Adbhutaha. Very qualified and wonderful. Prahalada. The one named Prahalad. Abhut was. Mahan, the greatest. Tesham, of all of them. Gunay, the transcendental qualities. Mahat Upasakaha, being an unalloyed devotee of the Supreme Personality of God. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Kashyap has four wonderful, well qualified sons, of whom the one named Prahalad was the best. Indeed, Prahalad was a reservoir of all the transcendental qualities because he was an unalloyed devotee of the personality of Godhead. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarver gunes tatra samasati suraha. In one who has unflinching devotional faith in Krishna, all the good qualities of Krishna and the demigods are consistently manifest. This is Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 18th chapter, verse 12. Prahlad Maharaj is praised herein for having all the good qualities because of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, a pure devotee who has no motives has all the good qualities, material and spiritual. If one is spiritually advanced, being a staunch, liberal devotee of the Lord, all good qualities are manifest in his body. On the other hand, harava bhaktasya kuto mahat gune. If one is not a devotee, even if he has some materially good qualities, they have no value. That is the verdict of the Vedas. Om Jnanatimirandasmi Jnananjanashalakeನ चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीचैतन्या स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापतिकमलं श्रीगुरुवैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपसागरजाता सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साधवैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादा सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नाम्ने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशसारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदाय कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरद्विषे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्रीराधे वृंदावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नीलाचल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां श्रीजगन्नाथाय ते नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीननाथं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम्. So we seek the blessings of His Grace Muktavan Prabhu and all the assembled devotees here, so that we can make some humble attempt to glorify the Lord and His devotees and remain absorbed in those glories. Hiranyakashipu had four wonderful, well qualified sons, of whom the one named Prahalad was the best. Indeed, Prahalad was a reservoir of all the transcendental qualities because he was an unalloyed devotee of the personality of God. The path of devotional service is phenomenal in its very fabric because it is transformative in its very setting. Srila Prabhupada explains that the process of Krishna consciousness is not an artificial imposition upon oneself. The process of Krishna consciousness is very natural. The germ of Krishna consciousness is there in the heart of every living entity. So Krishna consciousness is very natural in the sense that it brings about such a phenomenal sought for transformation. The transformation from demoniac qualities to divine qualities, from a crow like existence to a swan like existence, as Srimad Bhagavatam explains. From the miserable crow-like mentality to the swan-like mentality. So Krishna consciousness brings about the transformation. And it is this transformation which is the very crux of the process of devotional service. When Srila Prabhupada explains that purity is a force, Prabhupada says that yes, the engine behind the entire movement, the mission of Prem Sankirtan is purity is a force. So the point is the so basically it means it basically means the uh, it basically means the sharing of the good fortune of that amazing transformation, which all of us are very fortunately, which all of us are very fortunately receiving by the mercy of the spiritual master, and by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and the Parampara. So, in fact, that entails the definition of preaching. Preaching is just sharing the very fortune which we have received. That yes, this phenomenal transformation which we are seeing in our own existence, from the demoniac to the divine, from the crow-like mentality to the swan-like mentality, this transformation is available for anyone. And sharing of that transformation. That's basically the uh, that's basically the crux of the dictum or the aphorism. The purity is the force. So it's sharing of that very transformation. It is this very transformation, which is what can make a complete difference. The scriptures talk about the duality of this material world. And one of the interesting aspects is that, yes, the duality of this material world has uh, a very prominent lesson to deliver to all of us. That so the duality speaks about that nothing in this world is as such permanent and absolute. So everything is relativity. Everything is relative, and therefore everything is transient, and therefore everything keeps doing a flip flop. Starts doing a flip flop from here to there and there to everywhere. So this is the very setting of duality, but that uh, points out that uh, uh, so that nothing is permanent. And one of the reasons why nothing is permanent in this world is because uh, because uh, uh, Krishna is not manifest in our consciousness. Therefore, anything positive or any attempt to do anything positive keeps slipping off from our existence, and it keeps slipping off because you're not holding on. You're not. No, no, it keeps slipping off for a person who's not holding on to the lotus feet of Krishna. Because Krishna is the Vastav Vastu, the substantial, the substantial. And therefore, unless we cling on to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, by clinging on to the lotus feet of the spiritual master, and Srila Prabhupada, nothing works out in a permanent way. It keeps slipping off. It keeps slipping off. So, therefore, the point is what is happiness? What is misery? What is happiness? What is misery? It is all dependent on it is all dependent on the conscious decision of the living entity. whether to be on Krishna's side or to keep Krishna aside. That decision decides what is happiness, what is misery, and what is happiness. I mean, what is happiness and what is misery. Uh, it is so. This is the uh, so that means so this is the very premise of duality, because everything is relative, and therefore Prabhupada explains in the purports to Bhagavad Gita in second chapter that uh, that one should not take a personal knowledge should not take the material world very seriously. Uh, so the Radha Maharaj explains that the greatest mistake one commits in this world is to take the material world and the affairs of this material world very seriously. And that's a great mistake because it is illusion. Because that suffering, that it's all illusion. And there is never a so therefore what is that very uh, that very pragmatic force which transforms or which changes or flips uh, a negative situation and ambience into something very ecstatic in our species is Krishna consciousness. So Krishna consciousness is practical, and it is practically manifest. As we can see in the very personality of Srila Prahlad Maharaj, the stamp of Krishna consciousness, the impression of Krishna consciousness is manifest in the form of such captivating qualities which could even attract the heart of demoniac personalities around. Notably, the demoniac children in the uh, uh, in their esteemed demoniac university institution uh, of the professor Shandan Amarka. So the point is this transformation, and that is why the not yet. And that is why the process of bhakti is very practical. Lord Krishna is telling Pratyakshavagavam dharmyam susukham kartum avyayam, that this journey of transformation is so ecstatic, and it's so sweetly experienced that yes, anyone with any kind of traits of that demoniac mentality can be transformed uh, into such an endearing and amicable personality. Such an endearing and amicable personality. That is a beautiful point, which is being highlighted in this verse, and that is the fortune which is available for everyone. And that's the fortune which is available for everyone. The And that is the reason when Prahlad Maharaj starts speaking in his prayers, so Srila Prahlad Maharaj is explaining that it is this very devotion of clinging on to the lotus feet of the Lord, by clinging on to the lotus feet of the spiritual master, is the only way to experience this phenomenal transformation. And therefore Prahlad Maharaj says, Manyedhanabhijana rupa tapashrota ojasaha tejo prabhava balapaurusham buddhi yoga. And then he says, Gajayuthapaya bhaktya tutosha bhagavan. Gajayuthapaya. So Prahlad Maharaj is saying that there is no much use of wealth dexterity, uh, penances, pronunciation, scholarship. There's no much use of any of these things. Fame, influence, charisma. There's no much use of any of these things. But none of these things can please you, Supreme Lord. And you can be pleased simply by the simple state of surrendering to your Lord's feet. Just like Maharaj Gajendra. But Maharaj Gajendra did not perform any kind of austerities, any kind of scholarships, any kind of. Maharaj Gajendra simply, from the core of his heart, uh, Maharaj Gajendra was praying, was offering himself, offering service to the Supreme Lord. So that is a very setting which marks the strong connection. The strong connection is the heart, the connection of the heart. Yesterday, as Muktabandi Prabhu was explaining how Srila Prabhupada has letters to Shivananda Prabhu, who started preaching in Germany, Hamburg. Uh, so Prabhupada written in one of the letters, Prabhu was sharing that it doesn't matter what you do, but what matters is that whatever you do in service to Krishna, you do it with full heart, and that is what creates that. That is what triggers that consistent, persistent, phenomenal transformation, uh, and therefore Srila Prahlad Maharaj says that therefore what is needed is to have this faith that yes, if I go on continuing to serve Krishna, uh, it is going to create auspiciousness. Yesterday, Prabhuji was saying that how Srila Prabhupada was encouraging Shivananda Prabhu, and so Shivananda was, no, he was alone. He was in his 20s and preaching in Hamburg, in Germany, all alone in the entire country. And then he was joined by two more devotees. Uttam Shlok Prabhu and Krishna Das. Krishna Das Prabhu and Uttam Shlok Prabhu. And they were going for Sankirtan sometimes, but then they were feeling a little lonely. Not much people were reciprocating or responding. But Srila Prabhupada was encouraging them. And Srila Prabhupada was so happy. Srila Prabhupada was encouraging them that yes, anyways we go out for Sankirtan. Prabhu was stressing that anyways we go out for Sankirtan. Because just the activity of Sankirtan creates auspiciousness all around. And that is why that's how we are pleasing to Krishna. And Prabhupada was very pleased. And Prabhupada quote Shivananda Prabhu's example. So it was very inspiring to hear that yesterday. That's the point. And therefore Prahlad Maharaj is saying, Vipradvisat guna yutad arvindanapa padar avinda vikumad vimukhat supacho varishtam. Prahlad Maharaj is saying that even if one has all 12 qualities of a Brahmana, but one doesn't have faith and dedication to the Supreme Lord, such a person is of no good use. He cannot even deliver himself or his family. What to speak of delivering anyone? Better than him is a person born in a dog eater family who has full faith in the Lord and who has completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. And such a person can deliver. Puyet apuman hi anuvarnitena. This is such a person can deliver. And therefore, this is that great fortune of transformation. That is why we see that the subject matter of the focus of the devotees or the subject matter of the absorption of devotees is very enlivening. And so when Bhagavatam is explaining the materialist, their subject matter of absorption and focusing is like filth and garbage. And they are simply reminiscing that stinking, rejected, refused garbage, and keep taking pleasure in that. So that is because whether they have it or not, or the more they have it, it is all misery, and they are simply fluffing around in that misery. Uh, uh, Vidbhuja. Prabhupada gives the example of a dung roller. Dung roller. So that fluffing around is very miserable. But the devotees, their subject matter of absorption is so fortunate. because it is the subject matter of transformation, to see that beautiful transformation from passion to compassion, from mundane to divine, from selfishness to selflessness, from lust to love. That is the beautiful, no, and that is a great fortune we are having. Here, what is being demonstrated is such a fortunate disposition. Look at who is speaking about Srila Prahlad Maharaj. His own spiritual master is speaking about Srila Prahlad Maharaj. This is the very essence of bhakti. That if by one's endeavors and efforts and struggle, then the spiritual master can be pleased, then that is the perfection of bhakti. And look at the fortune. Srila Narada Muni himself is speaking about Prahlad Maharaj. And he is himself speaking about his disciple. And actually, this is the process. This is the process. The Acharya, the spiritual master, is so merciful. The Acharya, the spiritual master, is so merciful actually, that they transform, they uplift, and they bless and they benedict, and they are always there by the side of the disciple and their follower. So that is the point, and therefore Srila Prahlad Maharaj is and therefore Srila Prahlad Maharaj is praying. In his prayers, Prahlad Maharaj is telling that, "Oh Lord, I don't want any other benediction than service to my spiritual master. Let me go on serving my spiritual master." Because I had fallen into a deep dark well full of snakes. But your pure devotee intervened, and he picked me up, made me like him. How can I give up service to this great how can I give up service to this great spiritual master? I mean, this great spiritual master, this pure devotee of yours, and that is the aspiration of a devotee, to cling on to this fortune. If by our efforts, by our endeavors, we can please the spiritual master, and we can please Srila Prabhupada and Srila Prabhupada's stalwart disciples. That is perfection for our life, and this is this is such a rare and unique, one of the rarest and the most unique and the acme of the gifts which one can receive. That if by our endeavors, the spiritual master can be pleased. Uh, so here, Narad Muni is heartily glorifying Prahlad because of his dedication and his surrender. Let's stop here for today. That's Nritya Seva. Yes. And then Srila Prabhupada was saying to one of his disciples that don't think that you're chanting alone. Whenever you're chanting, I'm always accompanying you. Don't think that you're, because even the Germany newspaper covered about Prabhu's, Shivananda Prabhu's preaching, because he went in public in his devotee attire and he was chanting. Yeah. So Srila Prabhupada said, not only me, all your god brothers also are accompanying you, because we are acting for the pleasure of the spiritual master. Yes. So when we dedicate ourselves for the pleasure of the spiritual master, not only our spiritual master, all God brother, all Guru Parampara, everyone is there with us. Yes. Let's stop here for today. Jai Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Prabhupada ki Jai.